On today's episode of Identity, Global Youth Ambassador Dennis Gango is in the Identity coffee shop. We meet the members of the Sesfikile Youth Structure in Bethal, Mpumalanga. What's Happening features the review of a math training app and an inspirational movie. And Driemanskap play us out.
I am an individual with an imagination. My inner faith illuminates innovations. In a space with infinite inspiration, I was born free from all incarceration. Incredible, living infallibly, intelligent, outshine with my inner being. This is me, impeccable as ever been. I am you, you are me. This is my identity.
Good morning and welcome to Mzansi's #1 multi-faith youth show Identity on SABC1 Mzansians. I'm Viwe Kwala. Each week, the Identity team receives numerous requests to replay certain interviews and stories that touch your hearts and move your spirits. Over the past few weeks, we've made it our duty to indulge you by throwing back to some of your top favorite guests and inserts. Today, we continue on that streak. Xa uDennis Gango esindwendwela saphunga ikofi ixesha eligqithileyo, ibali lakhe lithetha nabaninzi benu. Sanyanzeleka ke kuba sibuyele emva kuloo ncoko besinayo. Jongani ukuba ihambe njani na incoko yethu neligatyana elakhanayo. When you talk about young achievers, you can't do so without mentioning this young man's name. At just 20 years of age, Dennis Gango has achieved more than his peers. In 2012, while still in matric, Dennis started an online forum that gave young people a platform to share their hopes, dreams, and aspirations. He's currently the youngest TEDx Johannesburg Fellow and was recently selected to be a Global Youth Ambassador for a World at School by the UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. These are just some of his achievements. I'm so excited to hang out with this dynamic young person. Thank you so much for joining us, Dennis, on Identity.
I'm so excited. You don't understand. And thank you for saying my surname right. Very few people get it right. So.
It is a pleasure. So you grew up in Vereeniging.
Yes.
So tell us about that. How was your childhood like?
Well, I'm in a family of 5. So it's my mom and my dad and my 2 siblings. I always have to count. But yeah, so 5 of us, and I'm the youngest, I'm the last born. So I've had the most amazing parents because they literally support me in all my dreams and my ambitions as well. And the thing is, my sister and I have a 5-year gap. So when I was in grade 2, my sister was going to high school. So when she was maturing and becoming a great lady, which she is today, my dad was sharing the wisdom with her and I was there. And that's why I think I've had to start such a momentum, because I understand so much about life at such a young age. And once you know better, you have to do better. I think I live by that.
Really, yeah, because you come across as so mature. Speaking about mature, you started an online forum.
Yeah.
I mean, who does that, at the age of 16? Tell us about that.
The thing is, my sister, who I just mentioned now, she helped me with that a lot. So she helped me come up with the name, which is Up and Coming Current.
Okay.
Because you're current, but you're also up and coming. There's an element to you of being great, and you need to work towards that. And I think that's exactly what the website is about, just encouraging and inspiring and empowering. Because if you go on the internet, you can find any sort of gossip, and when you look at the news, it's always very negative. But to find a positive light is very few. So I wanted to be that difference, because if it's not me, then who? So you always ask yourself those questions: if not now, when? If not you, who?
Yeah. And speaking of who, you're a big who. You're a World Youth Global Ambassador. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Well, I was selected. What happened is they heard from me from my community work that I did. So then they just sent me an email. They asked me to send my CV and some of the accomplishments that I've done till the beginning of the year. And then I was elected. And now I'm sort of just being an ambassador to children's education and standing up for the voiceless, because they can't fight for themselves. And I think it's, to a certain extent, very illogical for us to just say that, we can expect a child who can't even read and write to be equipped enough to take over the world.
And that's why you're running the education petition, because you are having, your success around it. So tell us a bit about that.
Well, in the year 2000, 164 countries met, and they sort of set out the Millennium Development Goals.
Okay.
And what happened is they said they made a global commitment for education for all at the end of 2015. This deadline is now slowly but surely approaching, and we have 59 million children in the world who are not being educated. And the thing is, we started this petition because I can't just be like, that's okay, and neither can the other global youth ambassadors. So this is our solution. And I think as South Africans, as people and citizens of the world, we can always point out problems. It's easy to say, this person is doing that, ESCOM is this, that. We have problems, sharp, but where is your solution? We need to bring something. We need to be change makers. Doesn't matter how old or how young, how you might think, how stupid your idea might be. No matter, we just all need to contribute, because this is our world. This is our world for the taking. And if you don't shape it, then somebody else will.
Dennis, I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, where does all this passion come from? I mean, at your age, at 20, a lot of people are thinking about turning up, and you are turning up about something different. So where's this passion coming from?
I think everything always starts at home, and my mom and my dad, I've never seen them sort of turn up themselves. So I can't go out into the world and sort of do things that I didn't sort of learn at home. So because my parents didn't do that, and because for me, and I always say that, I'm very happy with the life that I'm living now. So if I go and turn up, it's not necessarily going to add anything, good nor bad. So I'd rather just stick to what I know and do the best with my time, because at the same time, I am young now. And that's why I'm such a forefront to go and make changes, because I'm young now, and half of the population is under the age of 25 of the world, and South Africa as well. You
decided to be part of, or become a representative of a spirituality and a communications rep at school.
Yes.
Is that how it came about? And I'm interested to find out, like, what does that mean even?
Well, I'm currently studying industrial engineering at the University of Pretoria, which is mind-blowing on its own, because engineering is also quite tough. So I'm doing that at the University of Pretoria, and in my first year, which was last year, let's just get that out there, I went to Res, and my Res is called House Mupani, and we sort of have a house committee there who looks after different perspectives of the Res and the people in it, and I was elected, and I'm the youngest on the team as well, to be the spiritual and well-being and communication and participation representative. So what I really do is I just look after the 238 guys in the residence, look after their well-being, sort of set up spiritual events, because at the end of the day, this is university life, Res life, is like your first step into the real world, you know. Most of us are still steady chilling when we're finishing matric. So getting into varsity, it's quite a tough world. A lot of people don't make it. It's very tough. Dropout rates are real. So getting into that and just giving people the right support. And obviously I have an amazing team, which is what I'm very thankful of. And a lot of people would like to hear my story. Obviously they're watching the show, and they need to understand that it's based on the people that I surround myself with. I have the most amazing friends. I have the most amazing support. And even now, being a spiritual leader and being in a group, I was the youngest in that group, because you cannot go into the Res, say you want to be a leader when you've only been there for 6 months. You know, most people stay there for like a year and a half. So for me to do it for 6 months, for the house to have confidence in me and be like, yes.
You need to earn your stripes.
Exactly. So for me to get in and everyone to have their support and to support me and all the things that I do is a blessing.
I like how you touch up on university life, but why specifically spirituality to anchor you?
Well, I think right now, because I just turned 20, I'm in my sort of selfish 20s. You're still sort of discovering yourself, and once you sort of reflect, you have body, mind, and soul. So we cannot ignore that there's different sort of aspects to life: physical, mental, emotional, and of course, spiritual. And I think in life, and I read a quote this morning, it said, life is too short, the world is too big, and the God is too great for you to live in an ordinary life. So you need to do something great. And I think spirituality just comforts you, and it gives you that strength where when you don't know what else to do. And it also answers a lot of questions, because if you had to go around the world and just in your everyday life wanting answers the whole time, I don't know how you would survive. And that spirituality sort of is that comfort, because you know that I'm alive. And that's one of the things I always tell young people, is that I'm alive today for a reason. God opened this book. He said, Dennis, you're awake now to do something spectacular. The world needs what you have. And once your time is over, I'll call you up and we'll groove and we'll have some fun.
I love that analogy. So here we also have fun on identity. We have a quick word game. Answer as quickly as possible, and it's one-word answers. He's whispering to me, it's not fair. So are you ready?
As ready as I can be.
Thank you. Would you rather have X-ray vision or bionic hearing?
X-ray vision.
Have money or power?
I think power, because that comes with influence.
Have a rewind button or a pause button in your life?
Pause.
Be able to talk to animals or be able to speak all languages of the world?
All languages of the world, so I can connect with people.
Always be underdressed or overdressed?
That's a hard one. I think overdressed.
Overdressed. Dennis, thank you so much for coming to Identity. You're such an inspiration.
Thank you so much.
Kuyacaca ukuba xa uDennis ezimisela ukusebenza ude ayifumane into ayifunayo. Njengoba eqale eseligatyana elincinane, ndinesiqinisekiso ukuba ngelinye ilanga uza kubalwa njengoyena nkokheli ephume emagqabini. Let's take a short break while I top up my coffee. Join me after the break as we take a look at today's regional story, which takes us to Bethal in Mpumalanga. And don't miss our media review segments. Today we feature a math skills app and a Christian-based movie. We'll be back in a moment.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Welcome back to Identity right here on SABC 1 Mzansi for sure. I'm your host, Quickfire. Thank you for staying with us. Ngango recently invited us to spend a day with his youth group named Sesfikile Youth Structure in the farming town of Bethal in Mpumalanga. The Identity team then packed their bags and headed to the place where the sun rises, and this is what they came back with. Take a look.
This is my identity.
Sanibonani babukeli be-Identity TV show. Igama lami nginguNhlanganipho wakaNkosi. Sithanda ukubonga i-Identity show ukuthi ifikile namuhla la kithi eBethal eMpumalanga eMzinoni township. Ngicela ningilandeleni sobona abantu abasha beSesfikile Youth Structure. Babukeli njengoba senibonileke ke amalunga ethu eSesfikile Youth Structure akhona khona la eBethal eMzinoni. Njenganje ngihleli no president kanti ne founder yeSesfikile Youth Structure uphinde futhi abe qualified optometrist Dr. Zondo. Dr. Zondo, what made you start iSesfikile Youth Structure and what was the whole aim ukuthi wena uqale le organization eso emphakathini wethu?
Okokuqala angibonge ngithathele lithuba leli ukuthi sibonge ukuthi nisivakashele. Okwesibili siqale back. iSesfikile Youth Structure is a youth organization that was founded in the year 2006. The whole aim yokuqala iSesfikile Youth Structure was to give back to a community yami that made me who I am today.
So, Dr. Zondo, we have seen today that one of your programs was to give abantwana abakhona la around the community eBethal izimpahla zesikolo kanye nokudla. Is it part of our programs wena enivamisile ukwenza la emphakathini?
So okubalekile ukuthi inhleke youth organization, it's key ukuthi inhleke abantwana baye esikolweni badlile. Abantwana baye esikolweni with proper school uniform. So then this is also one of our major projects that we help to uplift the community of Bethal. But apart from that, this is not the only program that we do for the community of Bethal. We've got our learners awards, we've got our community builders awards, we've got our physically challenged and Granny's Day. Bese kuba nama learners awards wherein abantwana beikolo we encourage or to promote education because it's one of our aims and objectives. So ukuba nalabantwana labo ukuthi sithi okay, here is a certificate for you. Then it encourages them ukuthi they need to put more effort to education.
Dr. Zondo, Vala, my last question will be, what is your advice to the young people, more especially of this country, of this province, and of this town of ours, moving forward in ngempilo zabo?
I believe everything is possible. It doesn't matter where you come from, but what matters most is where you're going.
Babukele makhaya manje ngime ne community leader yethu okungumama uNG Makhanya futhi ophinde abe i-former CEO yasesibhedlela sethu. So throughout the years usebenzile nabantu abasha, uyawazi ama issues aface abona. So Mam NG, mangasitshela kabanzi iziphi izinto abantu abasha kakhulukazi lo mphakathi wethu waseBethal abahlangabezana nawo?
Abantu abasha basemzinoni babhekane ne-unemployment, lack of recreational facilities, teenage pregnancy, alcohol and substance abuse, no lack of funding kulaba abacomplete ama-matric abafuna ukuya ku-further studies. Yilawo engawa-highlighta okwamanje.
Sesinosihle. Uqale nini ukuba ilunga le-Sesfikile Youth Structure, and what made you ukuthi ube a-member, and why did you join i-Sesfikile Youth Structure?
Ngiqale on 2010. Into eyenza ukuthi ngijoin i-structure, I liked ebebakwenza kwi-community yethu as i-Bethal at large. I wanted to be part of the greatness ephakathi kwi-Sesfikile Youth Structure, and one of the things I've benefited kuyo ukuthi I was nominated as one of the top 5 top achievers esikolweni ka-matric, so I received an award from Sesfikile Youth Structure. At large nje, I am very much grateful ukuthi ngibe part and parcel ye-membership ye-Sesfikile Youth Structure.
Babukele ekhaya lana ngime nontandokazi oyi-beneficiary ye-Sesfikile Youth Structure, ophinde abe i-member yethu, kakhulukazi utholakala ku-drop-in center yethu. Ntandokazi, ikusize kanjani i-drop-in center ye-Sesfikile Youth Structure?
I-drop-in center ye-Sesfikile Youth Structure ingisize kakhulu ngokuthi uma ngibuya esikoleni ngingazokhona ukuthi ngoba ekhaya ngingakutholi ukudla after school, ngizokwazi ukuthi ngithole ukudla, and ngisiza futhi nange-uniform.
So wena ungathini kumalunga e-Sesfikile Youth Structure ukuthi aqhubekela phambili anenzele ukuhle emphakathini, nje imapha amazwi ukuba encourage ongawasho kubo?
Amazwi enga-encourage ngawo ukuthi ngibatshele ukuthi ngathi bangaqhubekela phambili basiza abanye abantwana njengoba nathi basizile, nabo bakwazi ukuthi baqhubekele phambili basiza abanye abantwana.
Babukele ekhaya, sithanda ukubonga kakhulu ku-Identity TV show ethe yeza namuhla yahlanganyela nabantu abasha be-Sesfikile Youth Structure. Kubo bonke abantu abasha abasafuna ukuhlanganyela kanye nathi, siyahlangana every Sunday from 3 to 5 la eSudi's Free Church. Back to your studio.
Enkosi kunhlakanipho namalunga e-Sesfikile Youth Structure ukusivumela ukuba sibancede basixelele ngebali labo. Ningadinwa ukwenza umsebenzi omhle kangaka bethuna. If you also have an uplifting story that you'd like to share with our Mzansians viewers, then send a detailed email to identitytvshow@gmail.com. You can also find us on the social media scene by searching for Identity TV Show on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Masithathe ikhefu lokugqibela ngaphambi koba sijonge isiqendu sethu se-media review yale veki. Namhlanje sibonisa i-app eza kuninceda niphucule izinga lenu lezibalo kwaye nomboniso bhanyabhanya obonisa ukuba nombulelo ebomini. Ningaphoswa, siyabuya ngoku.
This is my identity. This is my identity.
Welcome back to the show that aims to kickstart your week off with a dose of inspiration. This is Identity, and I'm your host, Viwe Gwala. Thank you for staying with us. We started the show with a throwback to a chat I had with humanitarian and global youth ambassador Dennis Gango. We then took a short left to Bethal in Mpumalanga to hang out with members of the Sesfikile Youth Structure. Now it's time for us to take a look at what's trending on the media front. It's time for What's Happening. Most people spend their downtime playing games on their mobile devices. Why not use that downtime to not only refresh your mind, but give your brain a boost as well? If that's right up your alley, then today's app is a must-have for you. It's called Math Brain Booster. The Math Brain Booster Drills and Mind Teasers app is a training and revision tool designed to help improve math skills. To get started, test your math basics by selecting the Math Tables option. Choose which of the table types you'd like to practice, from multiplication, addition, subtraction, or all. Select your preferred tables from 1 to 20, set a time limit and get started. On completion, the app then displays your scoreboard listing the number of points earned, the percentage of correct answers and your overall time. You can then restart the challenge for another attempt or return to the main menu. The Boost Mode option offers quick challenges to help give your brain a workout, especially if you're short on time. Choose between the true or false, long tasks, flashcards, quick task or fresh cocktail. Set up a training session specifically designed for your needs with the help of the personal training option. Choose your preferred operations, select a difficulty level, set a time limit and the number of attempts allowed, then get cracking. The app also gives you the option to go over the errors from previous practice sessions. Simply select the mistakes workout option for a revision session. Give your brain a boost with the help of the Math Brain Booster Drills and Mind Teasers app. Now, who says numbers can't be fun? On to our next review. It's a movie about a woman who seems to have her life figured out until she's forced to slow down and learn to see the beauty in simplicity. It's called Finding Normal.
I really wish you were here. You know how much money we're losing from the patients you're not treating?
And 3 days from now, I'll be cooling my toes in the surf with you.
Okay, I love you too.
Hello?
Finding Normal is a faith-based film that tells the story of a city girl, Dr. Lisa Leland, who's set to start a new life and a new practice with her fiancé in the Hamptons. While speeding through a small town, she's stopped by a traffic officer who also discovers that she has 120 unpaid traffic fines. A local judge sentences her to 3 days of community service as the town's doctor, much to her frustration.
Excuse me, may have better luck over that corner.
Forgive me if I didn't fall for the $5 charm and the $10 smile.
Do you like it here normal?
It's different.
Different isn't bad, Miss Leland.
Thrust into a life that is far from the glamour, fancy food and modern comforts that she's used to. Could a normal life be just what Dr. Leland needs? Starring Candice Cameron Bure, Trevor St. John and Lou Beatty, this movie tells a story of the beauty that lies in simplicity. Finding Normal is a definite must-see.
I think I got a glimpse of the way God wants my life to be.
Bet you think you're pretty smart, don't you?
About average for a city girl.
We've come to the end of today's inspiration-packed episode of Identity. We hope your spiritual cup has been filled to the brim. What did you think of today's guest, insert and reviews? Let us know by hooking up with us on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Search for Identity TV Show on all 3 platforms. You can also send an email to identitytvshow@gmail.com. Iqala le-hip-hop i-Driemanskap isinceda sivale inkqubo yethu namhlanje ngengoma ebizwa Izulu Lami. Kum uvuyo gcwala neqela le-Identity, salani kakuhle, uThixo anisikelele.
Mrs. Queen Victoria yasikinimba hlaba wasama inyiki mabesi fobantwana bantu abadala inyiki chanzo tinina indonga zecheriko asastiliga jonika like Titanic and this border disigan zofika in the one panic yanova sachiga yinina uchigelanina wemsidisiwa kwengqengwa enemies is nxa nelikhaselam satana phuma kulomzimba Yehova yenu mphini wamsathana suka kulomzimba awusoze wenzini ngami umoya waqekidwanda ncikiki wasempintshi zami ndaqonda najikitshana iprichikane ethi